Doflamingo. Doflamingo. Really? On some mob shit, really? Fucking crazy. So first off, the way the whole Bellamy thing went in the beginning of the chapter, I was saying to myself, like, yeah, what would be the point of him even trying to extract revenge? First of all, he made the wrong choice by doing this anyway. It was like, you should have just gave it up. Luffy, you know, he was a good guy. He felt like he was high. I shouldn't be doing this. But you were desperate to be on Doflamingo's ball sack. You're like, oh, I want Doflamingo's balls. Oh. And this is what happened here. He sent somebody to fucking take you out. And now you stuck there looking pathetic. Like, wait, what? Dylan's just gonna fucking take your ass out with his cross-dressing shoes. And he's just gonna whip your ass and destroy you. Because you were never wanted. You were just a little lackey from the get-go. And this is what happens. This is what happens when you make the wrong decision. Instead of saying, you know what? Fuck this shit. This guy's good. I shouldn't be doing this. You decided to be a little bitch. And to be honest with you, it's kind of making me wonder, what was the point of Oda bringing him back if he still didn't learn his lesson about, you know, what type of person to be? In the end, he was just going to be the same old bitch-ass motherfucker that he was back when we first seen him. So it's like, you brought him back, and it's kind of like he's just going to get his ass destroyed again and betrayed by the same guy that he just is worshipping his balls. Like, oh, I want to be the pubes on Doflamingo's balls, yeah! I'm just saying. Now, this Law versus Doflamingo. So far, this shit has just been crazy every time we flash to it. Now, Law truly believes in D. He says, you know, I believe D is going to storm things up again. And, you know, when he's talking to Doflamingo, because Doflamingo's like, you have to trust these people in order to get where you're going. So, for him to say that, of course, he means that he's believing in Luffy. But I'm curious as to when he says D will cause a storm again, if he meant a little bit more by that. Maybe he knows more about the will of D than meets the eye. Maybe he's actually meaning in general that D, the will of D, is going to bring up a storm, and maybe because he knows the history of the D, maybe he knows what the will of D stands for, possibly. It's very interesting, like that line. Of course, you could interpret it as just simply he meant Luffy, but it could be more than that as well. Maybe he knows more than what he's leading on. Slight progression now. Luffy knows. He's aware of what's going on. He was informed, and he starts a meeting up, and he's talking to everybody. So slight progression on that end. We got a little bit more. Now Luffy is going to start figuring out what to do, and it was interesting to see how passionate Franky really was. I guess that speech from the dwarves really moved him to the point, or from the toy soldier to the point where he's just like, holy fuck, you know, I really want to do something. And it's good to see, because you don't normally get stuff like that anymore, where it's like Franky taking the initiative, and that's Oda remembering, like, okay, I don't want to make these people, since I have so many people, I don't want to just make them one-dimensional. Yes. He's putting more thought into, okay, how would Franky react to the situation? Him, boo-hooing and shit and feeling bad. He would be passionate, and I'm not going to just have him stand in the background and say, yes, sir, okay, yeah. No, he's going to actually say, you know, I respect you and everything, I follow you to death, Luffy, but please let us do something. And Luffy recognizes that and says, go wild. I love that shit right there, because it's Oda making sure that the Straw Hats don't become just generic, robotic feeling, where it's just like everything is okay, alright, and they just stand in the background. No, even people like Franky that, yeah, it's hard to spread time for each of them, he gets his moment as well, and it's, even if it's like, you know, just a small little passionate speech to Luffy, he got a moment. The Marines are definitely planning shit. You see Fujitora, you see the other dude, they're getting ready for something nasty. That's why they want all the criminals there as possible as well, and they're mainly going after Luffy, because they're like, okay, if we have all the criminals escape or some shit, he might cut loose, so we gotta wait for him. So they're definitely gonna be an all-out war. Like, you could totally see how much has been built up. There's gonna be a massive explosion at the end of this arc. If there isn't, I'll be disappointed, but knowing Oda, he got something really nasty planned. And judging from how, you know, you got Fujitora, you got a couple people getting ready and getting geared up, shit is gonna get epic at the end of this arc and get real, really quick. Okay, maybe not really quick because this is One Piece, but it's gonna get real. At the end of the chapter with that Doflamingo looking like a mob boss shooting the fuck out of Law. I was just thinking to myself, first of all, so Doflamingo just started using like a real gun? Is that just like a regular gun? Is it him using his strings to shoot the fuck out of him? Maybe he's just shooting out strings at the speed of like a bullet? I was just curious about that, because it was just like, wait, what? But the fact that Law, he's just there all fucked up and he thinks Korra-san. I'd imagine Korra is whoever he was, you know, talking about as far as like getting that revenge or doing what that person wanted, whoever Korra may be. I'm hoping it's not the Legend of Korra, because we don't need any crossovers there. I'm just saying, I don't know. Let me not even, no, let me just leave it at that. Just imagine Korra coming with them muscles to try to help out the Straw Hats. My reaction was Luffy's reaction at the end of that chapter. I was just like, holy fuck! every time, I don't know, I feels like Oda likes to have Law looking all fucked up and bloody because it's like, I think the third or fourth time since New World that we've seen him just there fucked up and bloody, and Doflamingo's just on top of him shooting him like a madman. So, I don't know where it's going to go from here. I don't think that Law's dead. I could see him possibly dying, possibly if Oda really want to go there at the end of this arc, because it seems as though that this arc was really meant in order to kind of like bring closure to possibly Law's past, because, you know, his whole gripe is with Doflamingo and he wanted his revenge on Doflamingo for whatever happened. And again, I'm guessing that this Koro-san person is the person he's referring to when he says that, you know, this is what this person would have wanted and stuff like that. So I don't think he's dead yet. I don't see it. I still see that he's fucked up. He's really fucked up. He's getting shot to hell by Doflamingo with that gun, whatever, if that's a regular gun. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's Sea Prism Stone that he's shooting at him or something, but I could definitely see Law possibly dying at the end of this arc after we see his whole revenge and what was his quest to begin with and who's this Koro-san. Overall chapter wasn't the most progression, although we finally start to see a little bit of a move in the fight with Doflamingo and Law. It seems as though Law has been defeated. I don't think he's going to get up after this one and have any more tricks up his sleeve. It's just a matter of who's going to come and help him at this point. Is he going to get dragged off by the Marines or something? Is Doflamingo going to be that nasty and say, yo, Fujitora here, go execute this motherfucker? The fact that Law brought this fight into town, because I'd imagine what happened where they just teleported into the middle of town. I'm guessing Law used his room to make them appear over there. I'm guessing that at this point he's feeling like his last resort is to have Luffy possibly fight Doflamingo. So we could have incoming Luffy versus Doflamingo, possibly even some of the Straw Hats versus him. This is going to be fucking epic. This was huge setup when you really look at it closely. It's like really setting up for something huge. So epic shit on that part. Overall chapter, I felt as though it was very good. It set up some great things. Didn't have too much big progression, but as far as moving the fight over there and having Luffy see what's going on, Luffy's not going to hold back. He's like, as far as he's concerned, he's in alliance with Trafalgar. And, you know, he's not going to stand by and watch this shit. So he's going to fucking go in, and we probably are going to have Luffy versus Doflamingo. He's going to break through that gate or do whatever. But the Marines are there too, so they might interfere. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I just know that this is some epic setting up. And unfortunately, there's no One Piece chapter next week, and then it'll come back the following week, I believe. So we just got to really bear with this moment of waiting, because it's like we could have Luffy versus Doflamingo within the next chapter. So, and that's fucking, it's going to be out of this world, because Luffy's pissed off right now, and poor fucking Law. Let me know what you guys think. First of all, Bellamy, does he deserve to get ass raped by Dellinger for being an idiot and not taking his own heat and being like, you know what, fuck it, let me stand down? I'd imagine that Bellamy is going to be no more. We might not even see Bellamy, and if we do, he might be a bloody carcass somewhere, because that's what you get for being a moron. What's up with Doflamingo's gun? Was that just a regular gun? Did it have Sea Prism Stone? Was he shooting out strings from it? Who do you think Koro-san is? When Law was saying Koro-san on the floor, do you think that Koro-san is the person he was trying to get revenge for? Or do you think that it's just, you know, somebody else entirely? And Luffy versus Doflamingo, do you think it's going to happen with the next couple chapters? Now that they're there in the middle of town, you think Luffy's going to break free and go fucking wild? Let me know in the comment section below and your overall thoughts of this One Piece chapter. Again, I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. It was very good, and overall, it was just fucking epic as hell. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for Law versus Doflamingo. Shit was epic as hell. For that world, and as always, people, have an awesome day.